Donald Trump is having a meltdown at 2 a.m., social media post after social media post, and also claiming that Democrats have vandalized the reflecting pool, and that's why there's algae all over it. At the same time, Donald Trump is having this 2 a.m. meltdown. You have Israel continuing to target Lebanon. As of this recording, another 5 individuals have been killed in Lebanon. This is in addition to about 50 killed 2 days ago. Then yesterday, another 5 killed. The death toll continues to mount as Israel continues to make sure that the United States breaches the Memorandum of Understanding, which guaranteed a full ceasefire in Lebanon, which included Israel. But back to Donald Trump's post right now, then we'll tie this all together. This is what Donald Trump was posting at 2 a.m. The U.S. and Iran recently announced a preliminary agreement to stop hostilities. Do you approve or disapprove of this agreement? And it's citing some Qantas poll, and it says 43% of people strongly approve. That's what you're posting at 2 a.m. Then he writes, "We've cleaned and renovated and beautified 45 monuments and memorials." And Donald Trump writes, "Things are really looking good in our nation's capital." But then he says, "However, we've had some real problems with vandalism at the beautiful reflecting pool." And then he says, "The Democrats and these vandals," he goes, "they destroyed the grass outside the pool. They've also done everything possible to hurt the inside surface that was just installed. No different than the chemicals that were used on the National Mall. They used something similar in the reflecting pool to try to destroy and demean our beautiful work." He's accusing Democrats, the media, other of his enemies of throwing chemicals in the reflecting pool. No, the water source is the Potomac Basin, and we all said this was going to continue to put algae in. Then you gave a no-bid contract to your crook criminal friends. You didn't even put the filtration system in the right way before filling it up with the algae-infested water. And now, because you put hydrogen peroxide all over the reflecting pool, of course the paint is going to peel away. It's the most obvious thing. But no, Donald, it's the Democrats and it's the all of your enemies. They're the ones. This guy's so freaking pathetic. It's what he's posting at 2 a.m. It's the media doing it, Donald. Then he goes, lightweight ABC reporter Jonathan Karl was seen sticking his hand into the pool and trying to rip the rubber off the surface. Oh, it's Jonathan Karl's fault. The algae 75% gone, and the condition will soon be completely remedied. And the area that was vandalized, fortunately, is just a small area of damage and will be fixed early next week. It's a shame that the radical left lunatics, mostly Democrats who spent their lives trying to ruin our country, are free to do so. Oh, that's what it was, Donald. That's what it was. No, the whole thing still looks like it's algae infested. It looks absolutely disgusting. And even if you do temporary relief, it's going to come back because the water source has algae in it. Then Donald Trump is posting these videos and photos of people who are mocking the algae to try to act like they're the ones putting the algae in. So Donald Trump just posts a photo of someone wearing a Team Algae shirt, and the person is there to mock the fact that Donald Trump keeps on saying the reflecting pool is going to be amazing. The reflecting pool is going to be amazing. Also, Donald Trump continues to post photos of the UFC fight. There's real serious things going on in the world right now. The American people are suffering right now. People can't afford anything in this country. Our economy is in absolute freaking shambles right now. We're about to hit tank bottom right now. We are in a massive, massive crisis here in the United States, exacerbated by the catastrophic and unlawful war. This MOU hangs in a balance, and this is what this idiot is doing at 2 a.m. You know what's going on in the rest of the world? Netanyahu is out there right now violating the ceasefire arrangement, and he's out there continuing to blow up buildings and homes in Lebanon, claiming that he's going after Hezbollah, but continuing to kill innocent people there. By the way, continuing to kill innocent people in Gaza. The Israeli military continued to carry out scorched earth campaigns around the Ali al-Tahar hills using heavy artillery and white phosphorus munitions all throughout the night into the morning. Israeli Air Force AH-64 Apache helicopters were participating in this. And what was Donald Trump doing? Posting UFC videos. As Netanyahu was basically saying to Donald, I own you. You're my bootlicker. Kiss my feet. That's basically what Netanyahu's saying. Donald Trump's out there posting UFC stuff right now. Are you absolutely kidding me? I mean, this is the weakest, most pathetic regime imaginable here in the United States. At least 5 people as of this recording were killed in the Israeli airstrike drone attacks on Saturday, Lebanese state media reported. Just hours after, they claimed another ceasefire. Oh, no, yeah, there's a ceasefire in Gaza, but still thousands of people have died since the ceasefire. Oh, there's a ceasefire in Lebanon. Like 4,000 people have been killed in Lebanon. Now we're talking about women. We're talking about children. We're talking about freaking babies. And it makes me so damn angry to see what the United States has become, how weak it is and how complicit it is right now. It is pathetic. You want to know what Iran's saying, though, by the way? Iran spoke with Dropsite. Dropsite has some excellent sourcing with people in Iran. Iran sees this deal as a historic victory. Publicly, they say Donald Trump was basically begging Iran. The Iranian officials say Washington repeatedly pushed for negotiations. They say Iran says, here's what we won. The lifting of the U.S. military blockade in the Strait of Hormuz, U.S. acceptance of Iran's role in managing maritime traffic through the waterway, the unfreezing of Iranian assets and a pathway to sanctions relief, a proposed $300 billion reconstruction fund. The Iranian officials said these provisions prove the failure of President Trump's policies that led to inflation and 2 wars against Iran. It's absolutely accurate. But Tehran is deeply skeptical that the Trump regime is going to be able to comply with the terms, and their military is on full alert because they know that the Trump regime is going to breach everything. Right? I mean, you have Donald Trump out there saying also, he's like, all the people in Europe, all of the people at the G7, they were so honored by my presence also. They wanted me to honor them, so I showed up. I'm their boss. And Giorgia Meloni wanted so desperately to take a photo with me. Here's the actual photo of what was going down. They begged to have a picture of me. No one wanted to be with you, Donald. And just look what he's done to Washington, D.C. Look at the extent of Trump's destruction of Washington, D.C. It's truly stunning. The algae-infested reflecting pool, the destroyed grass from the UFC event, the ellipse is destroyed, the bulldozed East Wing grounds, 8647 etched into the lawn near the reflecting pool. Donald Trump has literally destroyed Washington, D.C. It looks disgusting. It looks like a dump yard, a junkyard. And then when we learn from the book Regime Change about how Donald Trump, he doesn't sleep in the master bedroom. He sleeps in the living room because Melania doesn't let him sleep in the master bedroom, and she doesn't sleep in the master bedroom. And apparently he just has all of this food and wrappers and trash. He doesn't sleep in a blanket. He sleeps in like literal trash all over him. It's like the staff is disgusted by him. In the bathroom, he makes them put like rugs and carpets, and it's stained and moldy, and it's just grotesque. And he runs around the White House calling people pussies, apparently. Excuse my language, but that's what they say in the book. He runs around just calling people the P word. It's just grotesque what's going on. And then he has his like slumlord buddy Witkoff go out to Iran. No one's appointed this guy. Like, where are you, Marco Rubio? You're the Secretary of State. Why do we have Steve Witkoff? By the way, I don't like Rubio, but why do we have this loser real estate Witkoff guy who bragged about going to Harlem to collect rent with a gun in the 1980s? I mean, what are we even doing here? This is the guy who's negotiating on behalf of the United States. He's not appointed. Who is he? He's in Switzerland right now, supposedly negotiating with Foreign Minister Aragchi. Although by the time this video airs, I bet you that that's probably going to, I'm sure it's not going to happen or not be productive, because Israel keeps killing people in Lebanon and in Gaza, and that's making it impossible to have any peace in the Middle East, and making it impossible to have any sustainable deal. But don't worry, the United States is working with Qatar right now to try to unfreeze billions of dollars for Iran. Trump is offering upfront waivers on Iranian oil sales, just to show that Iran, look, please, Iran, just let this deal keep on going. We'll front load the deal and give you everything you want, and then at the end of the day, maybe we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with us. Here's how Professor Pape, world-renowned professor over at the University of Chicago, here's how he describes what's going on. Let's play it.
Iran is gaining more power through the deal. And that is very important to understand, that Iran in the deal, even by the terms President Trump describes and J.D. Vance describes, Iran will come out more powerful through the deal than it is today. So this is of enormous importance, because we already understand that with the deal, and this is completely agreed to by President Trump, Iran will be able to sell oil immediately. Well, that's $1 billion a week. Number two, we already know, and this is completely agreed to by President Trump, and you just heard him say it, that others can invest in Iran.
Here's how David Goldman describes how we're about to hit tank bottom and what that actually means. Let's play it.
This is what happens if we run out of oil, which is what we're on the path to doing because of that huge supply loss. I mean, if you look at the SPR, this is our emergency oil. Globally, we're at the lowest since 1990. And here in the United States, the lowest levels of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, that's the emergency oil, since 1983. That puts us in a really precarious point, because, what if there's a hurricane, or what if this war resumes again? That's not a level that you want. But also the commercial inventories are very, very low. In Cushing, Oklahoma, that's where the pipelines of America go through. It has a capacity of 75 million barrels of oil. It's at 20 today. And that is at its operational low, which is basically like if you hit the spigot on a coffee urn and nothing comes out, so you got to kind of tip it toward you. That's my nightmare, by the way. That's what's going on in Cushing, Oklahoma right now, which means that we either need to raise the price of oil to prevent drawing down further, or you need to stop exporting so much oil.
And here are some of the people mocking Donald Trump dressed up as algae. And this is what Donald Trump is. He's posting photos of these people at 2 a.m. and claiming that they're putting the algae in the water when they're out there calling him out for making it algae infested. This is how stupid Donald Trump believes his supporters are, and how stupid he believes the American people are. But I guess if you still support Donald Trump at this point, I mean, you're such a lost cause. Here, play this clip.
Art is smarter than MAGA. Art is smarter than MAGA. Art is smarter than MAGA. Art is smarter than MAGA.
And I don't want to play too many of these clips right here, but Donald Trump's heading to Camp David today, and before that, he stopped in Joint Andrews Base, and he was standing in front of the Qatari jet. Our Air Force One is now a Qatari jet. Right? Makes sense. I'm being sarcastic, of course. And then Donald Trump was saying in front of this Qatari jet, he's like, did you ever hear that the pilots, they ask the rich people for money while they're in the sky? What are you even talking about? This is what he said. Here, play this clip.
Reduce, because that's very important. When you're up there at 42,000 feet going at 600-700 miles an hour, you want to be very, very nice and appreciative to your pilot. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's a bad time. You ever hear where pilots go and they ask for a raise in the middle of flight? They always ask for a raise. They're working for some rich guy and they ask for the raise in the middle of the flight, and he always says, okay. but Air Force Colonel Pete Donnelly and Lieutenant Colonel Tyler Sanborn.
Then he bragged about how luxurious the Qatari jet is and how great and how gold it is. He's in the most golden, luxurious jet, right? Doesn't that make you feel great while you're unable to afford your food and rent and you are working your ass off and you can't even afford to buy basic necessities for you or your family? Donald Trump's got a golden Air Force One. Oh, the Qatari Air Force One. This guy is a disgusting, vile piece of trash. Here, play this clip.
But with the extraordinary devotion of many of you here today, this plane was transformed into a flying White House at a level of luxury that nobody's ever seen before. Probably even almost outside of an airplane. It's nobody's ever seen anything like this.
There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. And I'll leave you with this photo right here as well, though. This is just a sample of some of the people in the past 48 hours who have been murdered by Netanyahu and Israel in Lebanon. This is who's being killed right now. My heart goes out to them and their families and everything. Anyway, hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.